What's up, Radiant Icons, and welcome back to Dare to Be Iconic, the podcast made for icons daring to be themselves. I'm your host, Amanda Policelli, and you guys, we are back with Everyday Icons. Yes, that's right. We are spilling the tea with Agatha, our very first everyday icon for season 2. But before we get into that tea time sesh, I have two big announcements for you guys. And if you follow me on social media, then you already know what's up. So let's get into it. The first thing is Dare to Be Iconic has officially released its first ever yearly planner, New Year Iconic You, the 2025 planner to living your most iconic life. Now, there are some goodies in here, some unique features that you don't see anywhere else. Like, literally, you guys, this is my dream planner, and I'm so excited that it's finally here. This has been honestly a year in the making. Like, I have dreamt of this planner literally since the conception of Dare to Be Iconic. Like, literally, it has been in my little dream notebook of things that I hope would happen for Dare to Be Iconic. This planner was the first ever thing that was in here. So every feature that you see in here is a labor of love that has been thought of for a year. And I'm so excited to bring it to you guys. So if you don't follow me on socials, what are you doing with your life? But like, also connect with me on there so you can see exactly what makes this planner so iconic, so different, so unique, because I am so excited to share it with you guys. And you can grab your copy in the show notes below. It's available on Amazon and ready to ship internationally. Woo! What a mouthful. All right. I don't know if you guys are ready for the second announcement because I am honestly beside myself. This one's kind of insane, but you know what? Let's do it. Next year at the Miami Grand Prix, there is nothing I love more than Formula One and Lando Norris, and also you guys, the Radiant Icons. So, Dare to Be Iconic is teaming up with my girl Kimmy from Delulu Fur Fast Cars, and we are creating Fast and Iconic Lando Bash. Lando Bash is an iconic meetup for the fangirls by the fangirls. That's right, you guys. Dare to Be Iconic is doing its first ever meetup. So I get to meet you guys at one of my favorite places in the world, which is a Formula One Grand Prix. Like, name something more iconic. You can't, honestly. Like, Lando Bash is fast and iconic, and I can't wait to share it with you guys. Kimmy and I have been planning this for a while now, and we are just so excited for what Lando Bash is honestly growing into it. We have so many amazing big plans for it, and they're coming to fruition. And I can't share all of it now, but I promise you, as the year progresses, you will know all the iconic and amazing and exciting announcements. So I'll give you guys a little bit of a sneak peek of what to expect at Lando Bash, because if you are thinking of going to the Miami Grand Prix, this is your sign to go. I promise you, it's going to be iconic. Okay, so Lando Bash is basically a place for the fangirls to come together to connect and celebrate the fandom that we love in our own way. Because if there's not going to be a seat at the table for us, we're going to make one. So we are going to have our own fangirl zone, basically a cozy meetup where we can all celebrate together and connect and just love the sport that we love in our own unique and iconic way. We're going to have an exclusive sneak peek at Dare to Be Iconic's Paddock Icons merch line, the professional fangirl collection. I'm so excited to finally give you guys merch. This collection is going to be something out of this world, but also something so near and dear to my heart. And I'm so excited to give a little sneak peek at Lando Bash for you guys. The next thing is we're going to have a photo station with custom Delulu for Lando props. We're going to have a group photo, and we have two special surprise announcements for our online community that cannot come to Miami in person, because we also know, Kimmy and I, from experience, that Formula One Grand Prix are not the most accessible and they're not the most affordable. Like, let's be real. Like, Miami is also one of the most expensive Grand Prix, and we are totally aware of that. So we want everyone to be a part of Lando Bash, whether you're on the other side of the world or you're right here in Florida. We want you a part of Lando Bash, whether that's in person or virtually. So make sure to connect with both of us on socials and go to daretobeiconic.com under the empowerment events section, and you will see Lando Bash there. If you are going to the Miami Grand Prix and you know you want to go to Lando Bash, make sure to RSVP right there at the Empowerment Events Lando Bash section. All right, Radiant Icons, I have said all the amazing, exciting, iconic announcements that I can think of. Let's get to the bread and butter of this episode, which is my tea time sesh with Agatha. Agatha is a university student. She is a F1 content creator, and she's also a radiant icon. And I couldn't think of anyone better for the first everyday icon segment of season 2. Agatha has been such a joy to get to know in these last coming months, and I am so honored that I am a part of her Dare to Be Iconic origin story and to have her here in the Radiant Icon community. So, are you ready, Radiant Icons? Because your tea time sesh is starting now. Agatha, welcome to the Dare to Be Iconic podcast. How are you doing today?
Hi, I'm fine, and I'm so excited to be here and so thankful for the opportunity to be here and talk to you.
Oh my god, of course, girl. I wouldn't have it any other way. So, let's get into the good stuff. What does the word iconic mean to you? And how do you dare to be iconic in your everyday life?
Actually, the word iconic is like so specific and so niche in some subcultures, or just like for everyone, it could be different. And for me, it's also like a fluid that can take up some different shapes.
Yeah.
So it doesn't have like one literal meaning for me. Because sometimes I associate the word iconic with something that someone else did, and it was so memorable for me. So I just took a pause and just thought about it for a little longer. And actually, how I dare to be iconic in everyday life,
Yeah.
I just do what I feel that is the best for me, not what others think about it. I just stopped caring about other people's opinion because it's like it's still an opinion, it's not a fact. I picked a subject in university that I would like to associate my future with and that I feel is great for me, not for my family, my friends, or anyone else in my surroundings. I just do what I feel is right for me.
Yeah, you chose yourself. And I think that's what's so
Exactly.
beautiful about your specific journey that I've been able to watch, like your Dare to Be Iconic origin story. And I always go back to the LinkedIn post that you wrote about how you decided to choose the path, like you just mentioned, of doing the degree that is right for you and not for anyone else, because you realize that at the end of the day, like we are stuck with ourselves, not anyone else. So it's up to us to make those decisions. So I wanted to ask you, you made this really powerful decision to prioritize your own dreams. Can you walk us through how you broke free from those external pressures, whether it was from your family, from society, to make this life changing choice for yourself?
First of all, I was pressured my entire teenage years by my mother
Mhm.
that I have to be the doctor.
Okay.
So first, when I wanted to pick like major in high school in Poland, because Polish system is really different than the American school
Okay.
system. Basically, we have like a major in our high school. So
Oh,
our
great.
class, and for 4 years of high school, we extend some of the subjects that are towards our like major or like a profile of our class. So I extended
Interesting.
maths, biology, and chemistry. Because you know what? When I was enrolling into the high school, I first picked a class with maths, geography, and English. And in the last seconds of me applying there, my
Mm.
mom switched up the choices. So my first choice wasn't the math, geography, and English, but maths, biology, and chemistry. I wanted to be an architect,
Okay.
and then she told me, "No, girl, you're going to be a doctor because your mom failed. So go and chase my dreams, not yours." So later in my last year of high school, we had like a Christmas gathering with our whole class, with our teacher. And she told us that, guys, whatever you choose for your university major or minor or anything that you do in your life, remember that you do it for yourself and that you're going to stay with yourself till the end of the day. So those were the words that really like engraved in my mind. I
Yeah.
felt like they're like written like a tattoo on my brain. In June, I was just browsing through every single university in Poland, like pages and their offers, and just looked desperately for something that can appeal to me and that can pick like for my major other than being a doctor because I knew that I would fail. I still applied to two med schools
Okay.
just to check if I could even get in. But then I found the digital economy studies in my hometown. So, digital economy is actually a very innovative field, and that's going to give me some financial stability. And I can also incorporate it with my hobby, which is watching Formula One. And I felt like, okay, that's perfect. That's perfect. I can stay here. But first, I also need to build my portfolio
Mhm.
or just have something to start my journey with. So I thought, okay, why not? Let's start F1 with a twist.
I love it. So F1 with the twist, it was a bold move because you were moving away from the path that was expected of you, right? That
Exactly.
you
Like my
knew
whole
how
family was thinking, oh, she's going to be a great doctor. They even wanted to pick my branch.
Oh my god, really?
Am I going to be a cardiologist, neurologist, dentist?
Oh, so, like, it was kinda like your whole career path was set up for you and you just didn't have a say, and it really took
Exactly.
you choosing yourself and being like, "No, like, I actually don't want that, I want this, so I'm gonna go and try it for myself because at the end of the day, I am stuck with the choices and decisions I make." Which
Exactly. At first, it was very hard for me because,
yeah, of
I
course.
left the exams. I felt like I failed the exams, even though you can fail it. But I
Yeah,
felt like I'm going to get like 10%, 15%. And
mhm,
to actually get into med school, you need to have like 80, 90%.
okay.
It's a very
It's a very competitive field.
exactly. And I felt like I failed my whole family, that they're not going to love me anymore.
It's like you don't wanna disappoint all the expectations that everyone has set upon you, but, like, also you just wanna do your own thing because it doesn't make you happy, and, like, you can clearly see that. So we've talked a lot about that mindset switch and also that decision of choosing you, which is one of the core lessons of Dare to Be Iconic. We all know I'm a big advocate of choosing yourself. So, what advice would you give to someone who is struggling with feeling like they need to control every aspect of their life?
Well, I would say take a deep breath, take a step back, look at what you really want to achieve in life. Look at what you find interesting, appealing to you, what works for you, because you are the most important person in this entire surroundings. Some people may perceive you as narcissistic.
Mhm.
However, no, it's actually making boundaries and just knowing what works the best for you, just trying to figure out what people expect from me, then dumping it into the trash because you're not living for someone else's expectations.
Yes, exactly, exactly. So let's break that down even further then. So, when it comes to setting up those boundaries and then throwing other people's opinions in the trash, which I love, I'm going to steal that, by the way. What are the steps that you would suggest then for someone to take in order to set up boundaries with themselves and or throw away the opinions that people place upon themselves? How would you break that down in a simple guide for someone like the three main steps? How would you do that?
First, don't rush yourself
Okay.
because sometimes I feel like people feel the pressure of time that they need to switch their mindset in like one day or a
Yes.
few hours.
Mhm.
It like healing is a process, it takes time. So don't feel pressured. Like, or at least try not to feel pressured because
Exactly.
nobody's running after you. Like,
Exactly, and, like
nobody is chasing you.
exactly, and I love, like, talking about healing, for instance, like you said, it's a process, and for me, I love to say that healing is a roller coaster. It's upside down, twists and turns, everything in between, so it's okay to take your time
Mhm.
when you're making decisions that equal you prioritizing yourself because it's not narcissistic to put that self-care and that self-love into you when you're deciding the best future for you.
Exactly. And secondly, I would suggest like a journal. If you find journaling that's not something for you, it's okay, like you don't have to. But actually, I would journal to express my feelings, to maybe actually write down what boundaries do you want to make and what actually you want to achieve. Just set some goals, long-term goals, short-term goals, because every goal is a goal, right? Like we're chasing goals, not boyfriends. And actually, I have another great suggestion that I found out about like yesterday or 2 days ago. So it's perfect because I remember it. Like ChatGPT.
Yes,
So
1,000%.
maybe if you have any like long-term goals or short-term goals, any goals, or just a vision of your dream life or like future life already, you can make a list of that into the ChatGPT and then ask what steps can I take to achieve that
Saw that
today.
on TikTok the other day. I was like, "Oh my god, I need to use this." Like, because 'cause I'm like you.
Exactly.
I love a journal. I love writing stuff out. I mean, as you know, I literally wrote my own journal because I just love it so much, but I think there's something really nice and like alleviates that almost chore mentality sometimes we have of like, oh, we have to journal, we have to write it out. But being able to kind of plug it into Chat GPT and kind of see the results of what, oh, it makes it a lot simpler, you know? And like makes it doable.
And that's why I know some steps that I can take in the future to help me out with my dreams.
I love it. And so I know you mentioned that your dream involves the aspect of content creation and in Formula One, which goes with your F1 with a twist Instagram account as one fangirl to another. How has it been creating content in a male dominated space? How has it empowered you to keep using your voice and embracing your most iconic self?
So, actually, Pokemon, right?
Yes, yes, I do. I'm not that much versed, but we have some knowledge.
Yeah, I also do have like some knowledge, and the knowledge is that Pokemons evolve. So, first, when I was the little girl who was just sat at the table, and my mom was actually hovering above me, saying, "Hey, you're going to be a doctor. How about that?" And I was this little frightened baby Pikachu. I didn't know what to do. But then slowly with time, I started evolving, evolving, evolving. And now I evolved to the point when I'm the content creator on Instagram. At first, I thought like, okay, maybe I'll do some informational posts to help other women who are getting into motorsports to have like a place to start, a safe place for them to tell their opinions or just have a group chat with other women. You remember that's where we met because you actually joined the group chat and just to have like other friends in motorsports who are or just motorsports fanatics to talk to. But then I thought like, hey, maybe that's not actually the thing that I want to do. I'm actually thinking about something different to use my voice in this field of content creating. Right now, I'm doing some like inspo boards. This user's favorite driver is just some relatable content that can draw attention to many other people. And I evolved up another time. From
Well,
the little content creator to like a little bit bigger, which actually knows what she's doing. Disclaimer, I'm not. I
none
don't
of us
know.
know what we're doing. It's okay. We're all just trying to figure it out as we go along. And it's like content creation and evolving go hand in hand, like you mentioned, right? We are always evolving into the next most iconic version of ourselves. And I love how proud you are in stating that and comfortable that I am figuring it out and I want to use my voice. I know I want to, but I still need to figure out how, and that's okay. And I think that's amazing. So within that, right, of like that journey of figuring it out and evolving, what has been the biggest challenge you faced then during this journey?
The biggest challenge for me was to face my mom and to tell her I'm almost 18. I'm not going to be a minor anymore, so
Mhm.
I can make up my own decisions. I mean, if you let me go, like stay 1 year longer in the kindergarten, I would actually be like 18 now. Maybe like not right now, but I would be 18 when I was making the decision of university path. So I would be completely deaf to her opinions And yeah, I think that was the most challenging for me to tell her, Mom, I don't want the future that you created for me. I want to do what I want. The
Nice.
biggest surprise actually was the fact that my mom was like, oh, okay. She took a step back and now
Okay.
she's more relaxed about it. I'm actually happy that now she supports me, even though she was like my biggest mental health issue
It was the biggest
provider.
hurdle for it. Yeah.
Yeah. You know, when you have a chain and the chain has a ball sometimes that's heavier
Yes.
than the chain. So she was like the chain at my leg,
Same.
like the ball and the chain at my leg when I was walking through high school corridor, for example. You can see
I
it in
love
the
it.
metaphoric way. So I found the solution to break the chain, leave the ball somewhere else, and just run away.
And be free. So to go to the breaking free, right, of the expectations that in your case your mom had put upon you, and the surprise actually in that she would be supportive in it, what has been the most important lesson that you've learned then?
That maybe she doesn't show it that often, but somewhere deep in her heart, she loves me, even though sometimes I don't use the best words to express my emotions to her, and we can argue a lot. But in the end of the day, she actually cares about me because I'm her older daughter. I think that she just got the syndrome of like maybe not an emptiness because I have a little sister, but she just realized that hey, she's going to be 18, she's going to university, she can be at the other end of the world, and you're not you can't you may not see her again. Just keep her close and protect her from all of the bad stuff around the world.
So what have you learned by gaining that perspective on how your mom may feel?
I think I learned that I have to show the respect to her more often because sometimes I was very disrespectful to her, and I'm so sorry for her. I'm like, Mom, I'm sorry. Yeah, like sometimes we may argue and just not agree on everything, but in the end, she's your mother. Like, she may have different opinions, she may have a future planned ahead for you. You don't actually have to listen to her. She's your mother and she should be just protecting you and supporting in any career path that you choose for yourself or
So,
anything that you do.
so by gaining that perspective on how your mom was coming about that, right? Of suggesting heavily, oh, I want you to go down this path. By gaining that new perspective of where your mom came from and the lessons you've gained from that, how has that influenced and impacted your healing journey and transformative journey of embracing your iconic self?
I think that I realized that okay, now it's the time for me.
Mhm.
Now I'm going to actually plan the future for myself because okay, like she changed her mind, she's actually going to support me, so now I can plan my dream life ahead. And if she supports me now after all that she had to go with me through my teenage years and childhood, I think that she's going to support me in everything I do. So I started planning, content creating. I've become an radiant icon. I try to search for how can I express my voice and how can I express what I love the most. So I love Formula One. I love geography. I love many other things. I have many other hobbies, and
Yeah.
I'm trying to find a way to actually tell the world, hey, I'm here. I still exist. I do this, this, and this, and I'm totally happy about it. And you're not going to stop me from doing that.
Period. Because you're building the future that you want for yourself and you're breaking free.
Yeah,
Oh my
and
gosh.
when One Direction said, "Nobody can drag me down."
Nobody can drag you down, point blank and period.
Period.
Point blank. One Direction needs to come back as of like right now. So leading with that, our last question, what is one iconic insight that you want to leave with the Radiant Icon community?
I think my iconic insight is actually meeting Amanda
I want to cry again.
because
It's so sweet.
I did a reel on Instagram that I'm creating a group chat for F1 woman fans
Mhm.
and like female fans. And she, like, the time you popped up in the group chat, it felt more lively. You
That's
just
really sweet.
brought, it's just the energy you have, like the aura all around you. It just brings positivity and joy into my life. And actually doing this thing with you, it was one of the events that I looked up to the most. I was just looking forward to be actually recording that with you, talking to you, and I can't wait for this episode to be released so I can prove myself that I'm capable of doing such things as like being a guest in Amanda's podcast or any other podcast. I can actually be a content creator. I can actually manage studies in content creating. I can have international friends and I can talk in English daily, which me at like 10-year-old I wouldn't even think that I would continue my English learning journey. And I'm actually proud of myself. And I'm proud of you, and I'm proud of anyone else who has understood that they need to take a few deep breaths and figure everything out on their own. But it doesn't mean that you're alone if you have to figure out things on your own. If you figure out things on your own, you actually are in the best position
Yeah.
because you don't have any influence from anyone else and you can figure out what do you want for yourself. So actually I'm proud of you. Any icon who is listening or watching us right now, I'm proud of you.
All right, Radiant Icons, that is your tea time sesh for today. I hope you enjoyed my chat with Agatha. I've known Agatha for a couple of months now, and her friendship is such a gift. It's such a joy, and it's been a while since I've a couple months, okay? It's been a couple months since I've had this tea time sesh with Agatha, and the biggest thing that I've taken from her Dare to Be Iconic origin story and our tea time sesh is that we have to be happy with the decisions and the choices that we make because the relationship with ourselves is going to be the longest one that we will ever have in this lifetime. Like, we truly are stuck with ourselves at the end of the day. So, we have to go down the path that we want to go down. We have to cut the noise of what everyone else wants for us, and we have to follow our own path. And to see and to hear Agatha's origin story and how Dare to Be Iconic has impacted her life and helped her have that push to just go towards her dreams means so much, and it's so beautiful to see. And I hope you guys can take away so many nuggets of wisdom and apply these universal lessons to your life. And I know I have. And Agatha, thank you so much for not only being a part of the Radiant Icon community, but coming on Dare to Be Iconic and sharing your origin story. I love hearing them, you guys. So honestly, please, please, please share your Dare to Be Iconic origin stories with me. DM me, email me, whatever you have me on, please let me know. I love hearing how Dare to Be Iconic has impacted your life. It truly means everything to me because you guys mean everything to me. And not to get all mushy gushy, but Agatha has written such a beautiful piece on LinkedIn about her Dare to Be Iconic journey, and I will link it in the show notes for you guys so you can read it as well. I remember reading that and being like, oh my God, like, Dare to Be Iconic is truly making a difference in people's lives. And so sharing your stories means so much to me. And I didn't think I was going to cry, but wow, season two, I'm really just crying every episode now, am I? Woo! It's okay. But truly, thank you, Agatha, for coming on Dare to Be Iconic and showing your courage, your bravery, your resiliency, and just being you. Thank you for daring to be yourself. Now, I am done sobbing. I'm done tearing up. I will see you guys next week. Remember, Radiant Icons, dare to be iconic. Bye.